What's up, YouTube? Art Director Q&A 5 starts now. Alright, so our first question comes to us from Emily Hill. She says, "Hey Kevin, I attend Creative Circus, a portfolio school in Atlanta, and I'm studying art direction there. I got my undergrad degree at Alabama in graphic design, so I have a little background. I'm in my third quarter and the school is 8 quarters. I still have trouble concepting or coming up with the ideas for a product. I saw your video about making 100 boxes to come up with 100 ideas, but most times I can't even come up with more than 3. So I feel like art direction may not be right for me. But everyone tells me it'll come to me sometime, but what if they're wrong? Did you ever struggle when it came to coming up with a concept/big idea for a product? When did you start getting good at it, and what made you better? I have the book Hey Whipple, but haven't read it since college. Do you think I should go back and read that? One of my teachers told me that will help me. Any other advice would be greatly appreciated." All right, great question, and one that I think pertains to everyone, from newbies to people who have been in the game for a long time. Coming up with a big idea behind an ad campaign is arguably the most challenging part of the job. We have all struggled with it. I definitely have, so you are not in it alone. Like any other technical skill like Photoshop or Illustrator, though you have tutorials for those, it too, concepting is a skill. So it's something you just have to practice and continually get good at. I'll start off by telling you not to put too much pressure on yourself. You're not expected to come up with an award-winning campaign for your very first one, so give yourself a little bit of a break. And don't be hard on yourself when you're writing down ideas. Not every single idea has to be extremely groundbreaking or the idea. When you're filling out those 100 ideas from my previous video, I want you to write down everything. The good, the bad, the extremely ugly, especially the ugly. You've got to get it all out there on the page, out of your brain. Do not let it float around up there. If you need a jump start to, help spark those ideas, make sure to hit that one video up that I made over those questions to ask to spark that big idea. It might help you out. I think it's a really good place to at least start. But look, right here. I feel you, Emily. It can be really defeating early on, I get it. But if you keep pushing yourself, you will get past it, trust me. I also suggest looking at some award manuals online. I think looking at other people's work can definitely inspire you and help you see how they solved a particular problem. Sometimes that's all it takes to get that aha moment, that, oh shit, they just exaggerated the benefit. What if I exaggerated the benefit of my product? Oh, and then you'll come up with some ideas along the way. Okay, so that was a little rambly. Simply give yourself the time, the opportunity, and the ability to dig through some pretty bad ideas. I promise that you will emerge happily on the other side. I promise you that we are all creative. You just have to practice it like anything else. I would also recommend picking up the advertising concept book, read it all the way through, and give it another shot. You don't suck. We all go through it. Keep on pushing. Okay, on to the next viewer question from Lindsay Roberto. Subject line is help. Sounds a little panicked. "Hi, I'm Lindsay and I've just recently stumbled upon your videos and it's given me hope that I can actually make this a reality. I appreciate that, Lindsay, and yes, you can. I'm a junior at the University of Scranton and will be applying to Miami Ad School after graduation. I'm an advertising major and an art minor. When it comes to a portfolio, I have no clue what to include. I have many pieces of physical art and I'm forcing myself to learn Adobe right now so I can get ahead. What would a portfolio school be looking for?" All right, so you want to get into portfolio school and you want to know what work you need to showcase in order to get into the program. So totally get it. It's a very frequent question from tons of students. All right, so portfolio programs do a great job of helping you learn how to ideate and to refine some graphical skills. By being in one, though it is not required to get a job in art direction, you will definitely improve your skill sets and leave the program with a more well-rounded book. Now, most portfolio schools have little assignments to help you get into the program. Along with work samples and a write-up on my least favorite commercials, I was also asked to visually answer the question, what's the flip side? In which I showed the flip side, the real life to the characters in the Peanuts comics. Think Charlie Brown as a professional football player, Lucy as a CEO. And these prompts are pretty important because they judge more on how you think. Your artistic ability is great and everything, but creativity is really the backbone behind advertising, so they judge on that as well. So my advice is to try to be unique. Try to offer them something they haven't seen before. If you think somebody else would come up with the same idea that you're displaying, do something different. Don't play it safe. And when it comes to work samples, just show what best represents you as a creative human. Do you take great photography that tells a story? Are you a fantastic painter or illustrator? Just show your best stuff that showcases your style, and it can literally be anything. Just keep in mind that you're competing with a bunch of other applicants, so do your best to stand out and individualize yourself. Best of luck, Lindsay. You got this. All right, so let's take some questions from the comments. This one's from a guy named Kenny. Can I do motion design and become an art director? That's a simple question, but the answer is absolutely Kenny. Motion design is actually becoming increasingly more important of a skill set for an art director. Now, obviously, when you make the switch, you'll have to expand your design skill sets, adding things like your Photoshop, your Illustrator, your InDesign, and your ideation skills will need to be sharpened as you think about strategic conceptual solves rather than just design-oriented visual ones. But having a base in motion design is a sought-after skill set, so you should be just fine. You are A-okay. You're good to go. All right, so last on the slate, we have another question from the comments. That one from JVSTN. So he reached out about really wanting to be an art director in the music industry, working on album art, promotional photo shoots, apparel design. And he reached out really wanting to be an art director in the music industry particularly. This happens a lot, whether someone wants to be an art director particularly in fashion, particularly in music, particularly in nonprofit. And he wanted to know if he followed my video on becoming an art director in a year, if he would be able to get into that particular industry. And my answer is yes, it's absolutely possible. A lot of designers go after those niche markets that really excite them. Now, it can be a little tougher because your net is not as broad. You're a little bit more narrow focused. But here's what I would do. Skew your projects and your portfolio to the industry in which you want to break into. Since that's music for you, design a lot of album covers, artist apparel, campaigns for music festivals, and make some kick-ass band posters. Everyone loves a good band poster. Once you create that base of work, that proof, if you will, hopefully you can reach out and do some commission work for some local artists. And then just keep letting that portfolio grow. Really let your passion for the industry drive the work and just keep making. I want to give a big thanks to the fearless individuals that sent their questions over. If you have questions of your own, feel free to comment those questions below. Thanks for watching question and answer video numero 5. I'll see you next time.